Okay, this is the big one, probably the one I least wanted to do, which is Mark Noble, because it's come at a very bad time. Bearing in mind he's just played his 500th game, and he is a loyal servant, Mark, a really loyal servant. But these videos are very much, what does the future hold for all the players in the squad under David Moyes next season? I cannot believe for a moment that Mark Noble will be an automatic starter in David Moyes' team next season. In fact, I think that if he is, the problems that we've had in the team have probably not been addressed. The positional problems in the team probably have not been addressed. I think the very fact that Moyes chose Thomas Souček and Declan Rice to play central midfield for the crunch games. And when I say central midfield, I mean the hub. Let's call it the engine room. The fact that he put those in there probably tells you all you need to know. We've seen the stats. We've discussed the stats before. Actually, I don't know. I say we've done that. You might have seen it. I might upload this after the Souček video. I've already recorded that, but in the Souček video, if you haven't seen it, his running stats are off the chart. He pretty much tops the rankings in whatever competition he plays in terms of running. So clearly that's a massive thing for David Moyes. We know that. This is the David Moyes mantra, isn't it? Don't run, don't play. And what Declan Rice and Souček are giving you is absolute work rate. So I think the fact that he was, let's say, I'm talking about Mark Noble, he was shoehorned into a sort of odd left of midfield or number 10 role, whatever you want to call it, for support to Antonio or whatever the case may be, I think was said an awful lot about Moyes wanting to get him into the team for his leadership qualities and for what he could deliver, but probably reticent to put him in the engine room. And if he was reticent to put him in the engine room this season, he's not going to want to do it next season, because let's be fair, he's not getting any younger, he's not getting any faster. He's not going to start covering more ground, is he? So where does that put Mark Noble? If Moyes were to persist with this formation that he was playing, and I say this, recording this after the Watford game, and we've not played Man U yet, so maybe we see something different, but if he's going to persist with having this position in the team, which is a sort of midfielder just off of the striker, then I think it's bad preparation, it's bad management, it's bad scouting, it's bad everything if going into next season the guy playing that position is Mark Noble, because it's a square peg in a round hole. It's not his position. And there are players better suited to it they could bring in. There's players better suited to it at the club. I'd suggest Felipe Anderson to be better than that. Paulo Fornal should have it, should be playing that position. Lanzini can play there. Jack Wilshere can play there. It's not Mark Noble's position. Mark Noble is a central midfielder. He's played all his career there. The reason he's not playing there anymore is because he's got old. It's as simple as that. And this is not about Mark Noble in terms of his worth to the club. He has been a fantastic servant. And he should continue to be a fantastic servant. I think he should remain with the club. And I think he would be involved. He would play some games next season. He would come off the bench. There'd be a number of reasons to retain Mark Noble. I also think Mark Noble deserves the opportunity to finish his career at West Ham. I think even Noble himself probably knows he shouldn't be starting every week. That's probably been the case for a couple of seasons now, yet, regardless of who our manager is over the years, they've all used Mark Noble. And they've done that because he's a good player. But he can't move around the pitch like he used to. It really is as simple as that. In the future, I hope he goes on to the coaching team, but I wouldn't want to insult him by putting him on the coaching team the next season. I think there's still something to be gained by having him around the squad, but he needs to be replaced in two categories. Number one, as captain, well, let's hope, we'll deal with Declan Rice, it'll be a separate video, but let's hope Declan Rice remains here. I have my doubts. Let's hope Declan Rice remains here. If so, he's the captain. If Declan Rice isn't the captain, someone else probably needs to be the captain, because I don't like what happened with, let's say, for Chelsea, for instance. Once John Terry was out of the team, he still retained the captaincy. And look, do you want to give him a ceremonial role and call him the club captain but not the team captain? Fine. I mean, you probably all remember John Terry being being put onto the pitch to say farewell in the 26th minute because that was a number he wore on his back or whatever it was. He hadn't really been featured. He wasn't one of the better central defenders at the club. But yet he was still the captain. I think it's a farce. I think the captain's got to be on the pitch. So that needs addressing. And then, of course, we need to address the issue of the position that he plays in as well. So whilst I don't want him replaced as a squad member, I think as someone starting, it needs to be done. I think it needs to be done delicately. It needs to be done properly. And it needs to be done keeping in mind of what a great servant he's been to the club. I feel sorry for Mark Noble. I got a book here, which you sort of generously was lent to me by somebody who watches these videos, and he didn't have the opportunity to play under anyone like John Long, Mark Noble. Is he a legend at the club? He's a legend in terms of his years of service, but he's been unlucky. He's racked up 500 games because he's largely been around while we've been crap. West Ham have been crap while Mark Noble's been around. I'm not blaming Mark Noble, by the way. But he's outstayed a lot of very, very poor managers. We've been up and down like a yo-yo, and we've been an absolute farce of a football club for a lot of the time. And also, there's so many players have come and gone. I thought Mark Noble's season when he played alongside Dimitri Payet was absolutely outstanding. Noble was outstanding. So much of the spotlight was taken by Payet, and rightly so. He's brilliant. I think he's the best player we've had in years, Dimitri Payet. But Noble was quite exceptional in that final season. He got it. He understood. The final season at Bolin, he really got it. I also think that whilst Tevez stole the thunder of that season when he did all that miraculous stuff, I say that season, that last half of the season, I thought Noble was absolutely fantastic, and Zamora as well. I think there's always unsung heroes, and I think Noble's been one of those and is one of those. So I'm not saying he's been crap for all the time he's been there, because he's had some exceptional seasons, but those exceptional seasons have largely been when he's had good players around him. Now, he's also played in a lot of crap teams and had a lot of crap games himself. So I feel a little bit sorry for him, because I think you would have seen a very different Mark Noble under better times at West Ham, under better managers. But it didn't seem to matter who the manager was. They still, even if he wasn't involved in the team when a manager came in, Mark Noble always seemed to manage to work his way into the team. And that really is to his credit. I think that shows what we all know about him, that he's got an awful lot of commitment, that he's got leadership qualities, and he's completely committed to West Ham. I also look at a situation now with Kevin Nolan. Now, I remember when Kevin Nolan came in, I remember an interview with him where he very much said that he was going to take Mark Noble under his wing and teach him the art of captaincy. Remember Sam Allardyce talking about it as well, and I think that happened. That definitely happened, by the way. But I do wonder if that is now slightly detrimental to West Ham, in terms of, did the fact that they built a special relationship, I'm talking about Nolan and Noble here, is that gonna impact us next season? Basically, is Nolan's loyalty to Noble gonna mean he is involved in the team more than perhaps he should be, more than perhaps his fitness and his abilities currently are? I hope a sentimental decision is not made in terms of playing time, but that doesn't mean a sentimental decision shouldn't be made, because I do believe that Mark Noble should be retained, because he's a hell of a squad member. And I don't mean that to damn with faint praise, but that's what I think he should be. I still think Mark Noble at West Ham plays 20, 25 games in all competitions next season, be they starts or be they off the bench. That's a hell of a job to do in a squad. That's an important job. I still believe he's on the pitch. He's the most important penalty taker. He takes the penalties. I do believe that it's crucial to keep him on the training ground. I think there's been too much upheaval. I've spoken to David Moyes videos about stability. It's incredibly important that West Ham have an awful lot of stability. I think retaining Mark Noble is crucial to that. So, in keeping with the theme of these these videos about all the players individually. Should and will Mark Noble feature at West Ham next season? Yes. He's got to stay. He can't be sold, and he shouldn't be sold. And I don't think he'd want to go. I don't think we'd want him to go. But he cannot any longer be the first name scratched on that team sheet.